now I am going to teach you some MCQ type questions of organic chemistry. This is actually aliphatic part of organic chemistry. Now look at the whiteboard. The first one is naming of an organic compound. If I write the formula of this compound, it is seen that CH3 CHOH CH3 CHOH. It is seen that there are two functional groups. One is aldehyde group and another is alcoholic group. But in the order of priority of functional group, the position of aldehyde group is higher than that of alcoholic group. That's why I have to start the numbering from the right side. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4. As it is an aldehyde, of course it will be hydroxy. So the name of this compound will be 3-hydroxy 2-methyl butanol. 4 carbon atoms mean but. Due to aldehyde it is nal. So it is butanol, as the hydroxy group is at the 3rd carbon, that's why it is 3-hydroxy, and the methyl group is at the 2nd carbon, that's why it is 2-methyl group. 2-methyl. And dear students, it is noted that I have to give hyphen in between two sides of the digit. If there is any word and then digit, I have to write here hyphen. How many asymmetric carbons are there in the butane 2,3-diol? First one, you have to know what is asymmetric carbon. Asymmetric carbon is also known as chiral carbon. The carbon which is bonded with 4 different atoms or groups is known as chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon. Look at the whiteboard. Here I have written the formula of butane 2,3, 1, 2, 3, 4 but, as there is carbon-carbon single bond, it is butane, and as there are 2 alcoholic groups at the 2, 3 carbon atoms, that's why it is 2, 3 all diol. So the name of this compound is butane 2,3-diol. And if you observe the formula, you will see that the 2nd carbon is bonded with 4 different atom and groups: methyl group, hydrogen, OH group, and the whole part of this formula. And also the 3rd carbon is bonded with 4 different atoms and groups also. That's why there are 2 asymmetric carbons. So the answer will be A. And third question, which of the following is optical active compound? It contains chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon, and of course its mirror image will be superimposable to each other, and the compound will rotate the plane of polarized light to clockwise and anti-clockwise. However, if I consider the choice C, it will be 2-aminopropanoic acid. 2-aminopropanoic acid contains a chiral carbon, and of course it rotates the plane of polarized light clockwise or anti-clockwise. That's why it is an optical active compound, and the correct answer is actually C. Then question number 4. Which of the following is electrophile? Dear students, electrophile means the chemical substances which loves electron are known as electrophile. Here, phosphine, ammonia and water molecules contain lone pair electrons. That's why, of course, they have no tendency to accept electron. I mean, they don't love electron. But if you consider the boron trifluoride, the central atom of boron trifluoride is boron, and there are 3 electrons at the outer shell of boron. After formation boron trifluoride, it attains to 6 electrons at its last shell, and it also, after formation boron, it has pagan orbital. That's why it can accommodate more electrons. That's why I can write here. I can say here boron trifluoride loves electron. That's why boron trifluoride is an electrophile. And again, number 5. Which of the following is nucleophile? Nucleophile means nucleus means center, and you know that the center of atom contains positive proton, and so the chemical species which attack to the positive center are known as nucleophile or nucleophilic reagent. Of course, the negative and all negative ions attract to the positive center. That's why all negative ions are nucleophile. Number 6. Which functional group is getting more priority? And if I show you the order of priority of some functional groups, you will see that the first one is carboxylic group, amido group, aldehyde group, ketonic group, alcoholic group, and amino group. So the correct choice will be C. Which type of isomer of dimethyl ether and ethanol? If I show you the formula of dimethyl ether or ethanol, you will see that the molecular formula of both compounds will be C2. There are 2 carbon atoms, that's why it is C2, and there are 6 hydrogen atoms, that's why it is H6, and oxygen atom 1, that's why the formula is C2H6O. And but the functional groups are different. One is ether and another is alcohol. Due to the different functional groups, they are the different compounds. So I can say here this is actually functional group isomerism. That's what the correct answer is B. And number 8. How many sigma and pi bonds are there in the methyl cyanide? If I write the structural formula of methyl cyanide, we'll see that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 bond is sigma bond. I mean 5 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds. That's why the correct answer is A. Dear students, it is stated that all single bonds are sigma bonds, and if there is more than one bond, the first one sigma bond and the another all bonds will be the pi bond. Here the first one is sigma bond and another 2 bonds are actually pi bonds. That's why the correct answer is 5 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds. 9th question. This is propane. Propane reacts with hydrogen bromide to produce compound A. Now my question is, what is the name of compound A? Propane is actually asymmetric alkene. I mean the double bonded carbon atoms contain different number of hydrogen atoms. That's why this is asymmetric alkene. And hydrogen bromide contains a positive hydrogen and a negative bromide ion. That's why this is an asymmetric reagent. When an asymmetric alkene reacts with an asymmetric reagent, the negative part of the reagent becomes attached to the double bonded carbon, which bears lesser number of hydrogen atoms. That's why, dear learners, I can write here CH3 bond CH2 CHBr bond CH3. So it is 2-bromopropane. So the correct choice is C, 2-bromopropane. The compound is 2-bromopropane. In which reaction the carbon chain is increased? Hofmann degradation. Degradation means it is making smaller. So it will not be correct answer. Decarboxylation reaction means deduction of carbon chain. I mean deduction of carbon dioxide. In this case, carbon chain becomes smaller. And iodoform reaction, in this case also the carbon chain becomes smaller. Corso reaction, in this case the length of carbon chain is increased. Suppose methyl iodide is heated with sodium metal in the presence of dry ether. Here iodine and sodium combines together to produce sodium iodide, and this methyl group and this methyl group are connected to each other to produce ethane and sodium iodide. That's why in case of forced reaction we are saying that in the presence of dry ether, alkyl halide is heated with sodium metal to produce higher alkane. Higher alkane means in this case of course the number of carbon atoms will increase. That's why the correct answer is D. And number 11, what is functional group in the compound produced by the reaction between organic acid and alcohol? The reaction between organic acid and alcohol, ester is produced, and this is the functional group of ester. So the right answer is D. Question number 12. This is sodium butanoate is heated with soda lime to produce compound A. What is the name of compound A? Sodium butanoate is heated with soda lime. Here this part will combine together to produce sodium carbonate, and this hydrogen will combine with this part, then it will be C3H8, it will be propane plus sodium carbonate. So propane will be the correct answer, B. And X reacts with ozone to produce ozone iodide, and the product is actually methanol and propanol. Dear students, it is stated that if in the ozonolysis reaction the aldehyde or ketone are produced, you have to understand that the reactant is actually alkene. So if I write the both of the products, methanol and propanol, this is propanol. So of course here will be I can erase the both of the oxygen atoms and give here carbon carbon double bonds, so it can be understood easily that the carbon carbon double bond will be at the first carbon. So X is 1 2 3 4, it will be the butene 1. So the correct answer is butene 1. So the correct answer is butene 1. Which of the following gives aldol condensation reaction? The prime condition of aldol condensation reaction is aldehyde or ketone must have hydrogen atom at the alpha carbon, then it will give aldol condensation reaction. Here this is benzaldehyde. Benzaldehyde contains an alpha carbon but there is no hydrogen atom. Methanol contains no alpha carbon. Ethanol contains alpha carbon, that's why ethanol gives the aldol condensation reaction. So C choice will be the correct. Which of the following does not give the Cannizzaro reaction? The major condition of the Cannizzaro reaction is actually the absence of hydrogen atom at the alpha carbon or without alpha carbon of aldehyde or ketone give Cannizzaro reaction. Here actually methanol has no alpha carbon, so methanol, of course methanol gives Cannizzaro reaction. My question does not give. This is benzaldehyde. Benzaldehyde have alpha carbon, but there is no hydrogen atom at the alpha carbon. It has alpha carbon and also alpha hydrogen, so it does not give Cannizzaro reaction. So the right answer is D. That's all, my dear students. Those MCQ questions are very important for your upcoming exam, and I hope all of you will write it in your copy, and it will also support in your admission test also. Goodbye.